it a blessing, what you call it living. When it come to money, she can be a hero. She write them checks with a whole lot of zeros. But what you don't know is when she get.
Listen to this. I heard the Lord say, off of what First Lady tell me, he said, yes, you was in Egypt and you was near palaces, but you was in slavery. Oh, they didn't get that. Yes, you was in Egypt and it looked good, but you was in bondage. Some of y'all looking sharp. I give you your props, but you know you in bondage, baby. You ain't got nothing left over. Would you rather be a slave in bondage and look like you got it going on, or would you rather be free and pass it through the wilderness? Good God Almighty. Watch this, watch this. So I'm going to take you from the palace because you really was in bondage. You really was in debt. You made $500 and $490 had to go to the car payment. Somebody say, been there, done that, got a t-shirt. Now move on. You in bondage, but you look good. This is what they said. I remember the onion, the leeks, and the garlics. In other words, it looked like you had it going on, but you was in bondage. Why don't you go through the wilderness, which means look like you're reducing yourself, but you're really positioning yourself. Whoever I'm talking to, I dare you to do that walk right there. I'm positioning myself. I'm positioning myself. Now I'm going to tell you. Oh, listen. I'm going to tell you why I did it that way. I'm going to tell you why I walked that way. I didn't do it to be funny. Because you got to humble yourself. And folks would say, they going down. They losing everything. And don't stop and say nothing. Just wait till you get to the promised land. Wait till you get to the promised land and then tell them, when I was over there, I was looking like a king, but I really was a slave. And man, I was sitting there, they fussing at the church, and we ain't nothing, God said, wait a minute, reposition yourself and let me take you into your promise. And then the blessings of the Lord will make you rich and add no sorrow. Good God Almighty. Deacon, is any of this making sense? God is telling me right now, I told you to live in Goshen. I never told you to stay in Egypt. In Egypt, you look like a big dog. In Goshen, you are a big dog. Good God Almighty. God says, good God Almighty. I'm torn between hooping this thing and finishing what I got up here. Because God is speaking something in this house. And I don't know who I'm talking to. But let me tell you something. And I don't do this stuff. But I hear God saying, if you ain't got nothing but $1 seed, somebody need to place something on this altar right now. Because God said, I've been speaking to you right now in this message. God said, you get ready to head to your promised land. You ain't good God Almighty. Go through that wilderness. Go through that wilderness because I'm going somewhere. Tell somebody I'm going somewhere. Tell somebody I'm going somewhere. Tell somebody I'm going somewhere. Come on, somebody. Come on, somebody. Come on, JoJo. Come on. Come on. I'm going somewhere. I'm going somewhere. Oh, let me say. What did I say, mama? Oh! Come on, let's give God some praise. Come on, give God some praise. Good God Almighty. Listen, be seated for a minute. I'm going to give you something. I have to give this to you. I was torn between just going with it and giving this, but I got to give you this because you got the main part. You got the exciting part, but you got to get the instructional part. It is some things behind us. I labored on this word. I know this was from God because it's speaking to me personally, but it's speaking to us as God's people. It's being applicable because what's going on in society right now. And I won't say it the right way. I read this in a book one time. We have preached a persuado Christianity. We have given a false picture of Christ. I'm talking about preachers. We have done this inadvertently. It don't mean our word wasn't right, but we have swung to the extreme, and we got people who's trying to make God look good, and we getting in high interest loans. We getting vehicles that we should not do, and understand we got good intentions, but God says, let me take you higher. I want to reiterate something that my wife said. I would rather live with less and have peace. See, I'm not too big to tell you what I'm learning as well. And what God has said to me, he says, don't, see what gets us is the enemy who works through our enemies, who work through our haters to speak and get word back to us. And you hear they say you're going down, and you want to show them you ain't going down, and really you're getting deeper. Come on, somebody. You know I'm telling the truth. You say that like I'm not telling the truth, like you don't know nothing I'm saying. You know I'm telling the truth. When the Lord is not saying we stretch the word, he's not saying I won't give you these things that you desire. He's saying you're not going to get it in Egypt. How do you know? What you need to ask yourself today, the title is I live in Goshen, but the truth of the matter, some of y'all in Egypt right now, but before you leave here, you're going to get to Goshen. Now let me tell you the difference between Goshen and Egypt. Egypt is you got stuff, but you're about to lose it. You got it on your own, and it's giving you gray hair. It's causing you to go crazy. You pray every day, not for life, health, and strength. You don't thank him for that. You thank him for call ID. I've been there. That was in Egypt. But in Goshen, you don't even have to look and see who's calling. Oh, where my amen calling at? See, we've been in Egypt all this time, and yes, they've been giving us onions, but they don't realize you think you're going to miss when God will give you a field. Let me teach this. Let me teach this thing here. In Egypt, they was in bondage. It looked like they got it going on, Mark, but they really was in bondage. And you go around people, and they don't even know how the enemy will use them to say things to you. You the man. You got it going on. I want your money. And they don't even know the real deal. And you will leave there, and if you say nothing about it, you feel you got to portray this image. So really the devil is whispering and getting you to follow him. When God says, listen here, humble yourself. Let me take you out of Egypt. But this is the key. I'm going to take you out of Egypt, and I'm going to take you through the wilderness. I'm thankful, Leon, he didn't say I'm going to take you to the wilderness. First Lady Hunter, he said he's going to take you through the wilderness. And I don't know about you, but I'm going through the wilderness right now. But I'm going to keep on moving. Let me show you. How do you know you're going through the wilderness? When you realize, watch this is good. How do you know when you're going through the wilderness? When you begin to realize that you don't need what you thought you did. When you look up and say, you know what, we was carrying all that water, and I realized, man, we can walk up on Mara and God can throw a tree in there and make it sweet. I realized I don't have to have that. I realized that I can make it off manna. And people don't even recognize how it's being done, but it's called manna. You start to realize that, wait a minute, at the end of the day, we're a little bit more happier.